Welcome, everyone. You're joining us for a special popular Beethoven magazine conversation today.
That's right. We know many of you, much like Beethoven himself, probably feel a really deep connection to nature.
Absolutely. And today, we're going to dive into the science behind something truly remarkable, nature's big awakening in spring.
It's quite the shift, isn't it? You think about how dormant everything looks just a short while ago.
Exactly. And now? Well, our source material mentions those open windows, the scent of flowers, that lush greenery starting up. It's everywhere.
You can almost hear those bees getting busy again, that sense of energy returning.
Totally. But it's more than just pretty scenery, right? That's what we want to explore.
Precisely. It's beautiful, yes, but driven by some fascinating biology. So our mission today, using insights from this pasted text we've got, is to really understand the processes behind that vibrant green up.
Okay, sounds great. So to understand the awakening, maybe we should start with, well, the sleep,
Right.
winter dormancy.
Good place to start. Yeah, the source calls it an essential survival strategy, and it really is.
Because winter's tough for plants, right? Cold, not much sun.
Exactly, a double whammy. So dormancy is their ingenious solution. Think about deciduous trees shedding leaves.
Right, saves energy, I guess.
Well, mainly it conserves water. Those broad leaves lose a ton of moisture through transpiration.
Ah,
Yeah, and when the ground's frozen, replacing that water is, difficult, if not impossible. A big oak can lose hundreds of gallons a day in summer. Shedding leaves is just smart water management.
wow, okay. And it's not just trees losing leaves. The source mentions grasses, perennials. They sort of retreat.
They do. They pull back, often underground, storing energy in their roots. It's almost like loading up a battery for spring.
Ready for that burst of growth later.
Exactly. And even evergreens, the ones that keep their needles or leaves, they don't just carry on as normal. They slow everything way down.
Yeah,
Growth, metabolism, the whole deal.
resource conservation, basically.
That's the name of the game. Like the text jokes, they're too busy chilling.
Okay, so they've chilled all winter. What's the alarm clock? What wakes them up for spring?
It's mainly two things working together. Longer days and warmer temperatures.
More daylight, more energy for photosynthesis. Makes sense.
Right. As we tilt back towards the sun, the days get longer, providing more light fuel.
And plants actually know the days are getting longer. They don't just feel the warmth.
Oh, they know. They have these amazing things called photoreceptor cells. Think of them like tiny light sensors.
Okay,
These cells are super sensitive to changes in light duration. They can literally measure the day length and send signals saying, okay, time to gear up.
that's incredible. And the temperature part, warmer soil.
Yep, that's crucial too. Warm soil wakes up the root systems, allows them to start absorbing water and nutrients effectively again. It's like, turning the tap back on.
Right, the plumbing comes back online.
Pretty much. And the timing can be incredibly precise.
Yeah, the source mentioned growing degree days
Mm.
and cherry blossoms.
Ah, yes. That's a perfect example of nature's timing. Growing degree days are basically a measure of accumulated heat. Plants, like those cherry trees, need a specific amount of warmth built up over time.
Not just one warm day.
No, it's cumulative. Once they hit that magic number of degree days, boom, time to bloom. It ensures they flower when conditions are just right, like for the pollinators to be active too.
It's like a little internal counter.
A very precise one.
Okay, so light, check.
Yeah.
Warmth, check.
Okay.
Roots working, check. Now,
Hmm.
the green
Oh.
chlorophyll, the source calls it the green paint.
Ah, I like that. It's a good analogy. Chlorophyll is the pigment that gives plants that green color, and it's absolutely vital.
Because that's what does the photosynthesis thing.
That's the engine right there. Chlorophyll grabs the sunlight energy, and it uses that energy to turn carbon dioxide from the air and water from the soil into sugars.
Plant food.
Exactly, their energy source.
Mm.
During winter, chlorophyll production basically shuts down. No point making it if you can't use it. But come spring, they ramp it up big time in the new leaves.
And it's doing more than just coloring things green. It's fundamental.
Oh, absolutely. It's the base of almost every food chain on land. And think about this. The source mentions a mature tree can produce enough oxygen every day for 2 people.
Wow. Just one tree.
Yep, from that photosynthesis process. Pretty amazing byproduct for us.
Definitely puts it in perspective. Okay, so we see this wave of green, but it's not uniform, is it? The source says different plants have different strategies.
Very much so. It's not a simultaneous light switch. Different species have their own timing, their own tricks.
Like dandelions, they always seem to be the first ones out.
They are quick. Dandelions use the energy they stored in those deep taproots over winter. That gives them a head start to pop up and flower really early.
Those bright yellow spots everywhere.
Little beacons of spring. And they're tough too, as the text says. They can grow almost anywhere. Real pioneers. Plus, those puffball seeds are geniuses of wind travel.
True. Okay, then what about grass? It feels like one day it's brown, the next it's this vibrant green carpet.
That speed is all down to really rapid cell division in the blades. When conditions are right good sun, enough watergrass can grow incredibly fast, sometimes close to an inch a day.
An inch? Seriously?
Under ideal conditions, yep. That's how you get that quick transformation.
Okay, and trees. They seem more varied. Maples and birches green up faster than oaks, apparently.
Yeah, there's strategy there too. Maples and birches tend to leaf out earlier to grab that early sunlight, especially before the taller trees nearby create too much shade. Maximize the light capture window.
Makes sense. But oaks wait longer.
Oaks are often a bit more cautious. They're more vulnerable to damage from a late spring frost, so they tend to hold back their leaves until the risk of a really damaging freeze has mostly passed. It's a bit of a gamble, Play it safe or go for the early sun.
A calculated risk. And you mentioned oaks have tons of leaves.
Oh, yeah. A mature oak might have, over 70,000 leaves, something like that. Each one is a little solar panel working away.
Incredible. So it's this staggered, choreographed greening across the landscape.
Exactly. Everyone gets their turn, more or less. It probably helps balance out the demand for resources, too.
Which brings us to the big why. Why all this effort? Why the mad dash to green up in spring?
Because the clock is ticking. Spring and summer offer a limited window. Plants need to grow, gather energy through photosynthesis, and importantly, reproduce, make flowers, seeds, fruit before winter comes back.
So it's about maximizing that opportunity.
Absolutely. Get started early, get more done.
And there's competition too, right? Racing for the sunlight.
Definitely. Those first leaves out get the best access to sunlight, shading out competitors below or ones that leaf out later. Think about those spring wildflowers on the forest floor, like trilliums.
Oh yeah, they bloom before the trees get all their leaves.
Exactly. They're sneaking in and grabbing that sunlight while the canopy is still open. It's a clever timing strategy.
Nature's always finding ways. I heard some plants can even, listen to their neighbors.
That's fascinating research. Yeah, there's evidence they can detect chemical signals from nearby plants, which might influence when they decide to grow or flower. It's like chemical eavesdropping.
Wow. Okay, so this green up isn't just for the plants themselves. It kicks off, everything else.
That's a really crucial point the source makes. This green explosion supports entire ecosystems.
How so?
Well, think about it. New leaves mean shelter and places for birds to nest.
Right.
The flowers provide nectar, essential food for bees, butterflies, all the pollinators.
Yeah.
And without pollinators,
I'd be in trouble.
big trouble. And then there are all the herbivores. Deer munching on new shoots, caterpillars eating leaves.
The caterpillars eat a lot, don't they?
Astonishing amounts. The source mentions one can eat 200 times its body weight as it grows. They absolutely rely on that fresh spring foliage.
So the green stuff feeds everything, directly or indirectly.
It's the foundation. It really shows how interconnected everything is. That green pulse ripples through the whole food web.
It's incredible. So when we see spring arriving, all that green, it's not just pretty, it's profound.
It really is. It's this powerful symbol of resilience, of life's ability to pause, endure winter, and then just burst forth again. It's renewal on a massive scale.
And you can see why someone like Beethoven, who felt things so deeply, would find so much inspiration and, happiness in witnessing that cycle in nature.
Absolutely. Knowing a bit about the science behind it, the triggers, the chlorophyll, the different strategies, it adds another layer of appreciation, doesn't it?
It really does. So wrapping things up, the simple greening we see is anything but simple. It's this complex, coordinated response to light and warmth.
Driven by the need to survive and reproduce, involving countless amazing adaptations by different plants.
And hopefully next time you step outside and you get that first scent of spring, that fresh green smell, maybe you'll think about all that incredible biology buzzing away beneath the surface.
Yeah, hopefully it adds a little richness to just experiencing the season.
Definitely. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you to ponder. We've talked about this intricate timing, this interconnectedness. So consider this. With climates changing, we're seeing shifts in when spring arrives, sometimes earlier, sometimes more erratically. Given how finely tuned everything is, the plants, the insects, the birds how might even small changes in that spring timing ripple outwards? what could the consequences be in the ecosystem right around you?
That's a really important question to think about as we watch spring unfold. Food for thought, definitely.